Today, I want to talk about millennials. And to do so, I'm going to use a recently published manual from The Hustle, which is a HubSpot publication. And it's called the Millennial Manual. And the subtitle is Your Guide to Leading the Largest Generation in the Workforce. And honestly, I don't actually care about the information about how to lead millennials in the workforce, but this study, this report, has a whole bunch of good insights and information in how to best serve millennials as a leader, as a loan officer, as a real estate agent. And other things that were in this article, the topics that really jumped out at me was first about how their point of view has been shaped by the report calls the crisis generation. And so in the report, it says, look, millennials have gone through so much because they're born between 1981 and 1996. They've gone through 9/11, the Great Recession, COVID, this whole hysteria about climate change, student debt, housing inflation, job instability, you name it. They've had all sorts of stuff coming at them at a pretty high speed. And that this constant turbulence, as this report says, has left permanent scars of economic chaos. So these permanent scars have really given millennials kind of a deep skepticism towards big institutions and long-term commitments, as well as financial optimism. I mean, many of them saw their parents lose their home in the Great Recession, right? A large amount of homes were foreclosed, and so they have these scars, right? But they still crave success, and so we have to really help them get past this permanent scars. Now, the other thing that this report calls out is that millennials crave human connection. So, despite all their massive fluency in digital tools, millennials don't want to feel like a transaction. They need reassurance, responsiveness, and transparency. And as the report says, trust is the new currency. They need to trust you. They need to feel connected to you, right? And as we serve these millennials, we definitely have to, solve the code of these permanent economic scars. And then the other thing when this report that I really like that they brought out is that millennials think differently about income. And when you talk about that, millennials are twice as likely as boomers to have side hustles or freelance income, and they're 3 times as more likely to value income flexibility. And what that means is that millennials are uniquely positioned to flex their income. They're willing to take a second or third job. They're willing to do side hustles. And contrary to what we think, about all these avocado toast memes, the millennial generation is exceptionally hardworking. They really are, but they're getting burned out. They haven't checked out. They're burned out, and they want to build wealth. They just don't know who to trust. Whether it's their leader at work, whether it's their advisors they trust are making big decisions like buying homes. They want to trust people. They want to be really well served. They want a lot of human connection. They need help getting over what have now been programmed in fears. And so this is a giant opportunity. I really recommend this report. And anytime you can read a study or report on millennials, so just get insights to how they think and how you can best serve them. Here's a quick picture of the report right here. It's a really good report. It has all sorts of great information in it. Here you see, kind of quick stats, education. Here's that whole crisis generation where they do a timeline of all these different, economic, chaos, the permanent scars, which I really liked, how they're motivated, just all sorts of good stuff here, what motivates them, all that kind of stuff is really good. So I did a LinkedIn post on this today. I do posts like this. I hope you find it. When I do a post, I want to provide value that you can use, insights that you can use to better serve or better advise your clients. I also try to provide content that you can leverage in your own marketing, whether it's to millennials or whether you're doing a first-time home buyer seminar or if you're with your monthly mailer, whatever it happens to be. I want to provide you resources that you can use for that stuff. And this is a great resource. You can use some of these slides if you're doing first-time home buyer seminars. They'll be really, really useful. But so check me out. If you get a chance, check me out on LinkedIn. Now, thank you for giving me some of your time. I appreciate it. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Go get those millennials. Thanks.